You have a difficult employee. Maybe it's performance. Maybe it's behavior. Maybe it's both. And you know you need to address it. But you're hesitating. Because one wrong move, one conversation handled incorrectly can turn a performance issue into a wrongful termination claim. I spent 20 years inside HR. I've seen managers handle this well. And I've seen managers hand employees a six-figure settlement because they skipped the basics. Here is the framework that protects both the organization and the employee. This is what the talent. Let's go. The most expensive mistake managers make is documenting the wrong thing. Difficult attitude. Not a team player. Negative energy. Those phrases are not documentation. They are opinions. And opinions get thrown out in litigation. Here is what actual documentation looks like. On April 28, the employee missed the client deliverable deadline. The client escalated at 3 p.m. This is the third missed deadline in 60 days. Previous instances documented on March 3 and March 19. Specific. Dated. Impact-focused. Behavior, not personality. Every note you write should answer 3 questions. What specifically happened? When did it happen? What was the impact on the team or organization? If you can't answer all 3, you don't have documentation. You have an opinion. And opinions don't hold up. Before any formal action, the employee must know exactly what needs to change. Not generally. Specifically. Not verbally. In writing. 3 elements every written expectation needs: what the specific behavior or performance standard is, by when it needs to be corrected, what happens if it isn't. That last one is where most managers fail. They have the conversation. They send the email. They never state the consequence. And when the behavior continues, they have no documented basis to act. The consequence must be stated. Failure to meet these expectations by May 30th may result in further disciplinary action up to and including termination. That sentence protects the organization. And it gives the employee a genuine opportunity to correct the behavior. Both things matter legally. This is the step that gets organizations into the most expensive trouble. Before you take formal action against any employee, ask yourself one question. Have I addressed this same behavior consistently across all employees regardless of race, age, gender, disability status, or any other protected class? Because if you've overlooked this behavior in one employee, but are now pursuing it in another, and those 2 employees are in different protected classes, that inconsistency is the foundation of a discrimination claim. It doesn't matter if your intent was never discriminatory. The pattern is what gets examined. Consistency is not just a fairness principle. It is a legal protection. Before every formal action, HR needs to audit the record for consistency. That audit is not optional. Not after the fact. Not when you've already had 3 undocumented conversations. Not when you're ready to terminate. Early. The moment a pattern of behavior becomes visible, HR should be in the conversation. Why? Because HR can see things the manager cannot. Whether there's an undisclosed accommodation request that changes the legal picture. Whether the employee has filed a complaint that makes the timing of any action look retaliatory. Whether there's a pattern across the organization that suggests a systemic issue rather than an individual performance problem. Managers who loop in HR early have a documented partner in the process. Managers who go it alone own every mistake that follows. Whatever you said would happen, must happen. This sounds obvious. It is the most commonly violated principle in performance management. A written warning that says further disciplinary action up to termination followed by no action is worse than no warning at all. Because now you have a document that shows you identified the problem, stated the consequence, and then didn't follow through. That document becomes the employee's strongest piece of evidence that the process was not legitimate. Follow-through is not optional. It is the thing that makes everything that came before it mean something. If you are not prepared to follow through, do not put the consequence in writing. One more thing worth addressing directly. Every performance management situation needs to be examined through the protected class lens. Before any formal action, ask, is this employee in a protected class? Race. Age over 40. Gender. Pregnancy. Disability. Religion. National origin. Has this employee recently engaged in any protected activity? Filed a complaint. Requested accommodation. Taken FMLA leave. If the answer to either question is yes, the timing and documentation of your action will be examined carefully. That doesn't mean you cannot act. It means the documentation needs to be ironclad before you do. The question is never whether the employee is protected. Everyone is protected by something. The question is whether your action is based on documented legitimate business reasons applied consistently. That is the standard. That is the protection. 5 steps. Document behavior, not personality. Set clear written expectations with consequences. Apply the consistency test. Involve HR early. Follow through. Managing a difficult employee is not about building a case against a person. It is about creating a documented record that demonstrates a fair, consistent process that gave the employee a genuine opportunity to succeed. When that record exists, the organization is protected. And so is the employee. Comment manage below if you're navigating this right now. This is what the talent. The move is yours.